Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Ah, yes. Welcome into the Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show. I am, of course, Colby Sapp. That's IndyCarTim. We'll get to him in just a moment.
Really?
I need to make sure to tell you guys that what you've got in front of you is our show, and you should like, you should subscribe, you should put on the little podcast app that you just downloaded this show from that you really like this show. Comment something. I don't know. Add us to your favorites. I don't care. Do it. Do it now, please. Begging you. Also need to let you know that you have a text line into this show. The Fan Stream Sports DS brought to you by DSP Media. Those guys, it's us guys. And we've got a text line. It's 214-937-0569. That's 5 69s after the 0, okay? And the 937 part, well, I hope you find a way to remember that because we haven't come up with anything catchy.
Not yet.
We were just fighting for the number 69 in that, so we got it at the end.
Giggle.
Which is the best place to have a 69 happen. Tim, what's going on?
Wow.
Casually sexting.
Yo! How are you, Colby?
I just asked you. I kind of told everybody I'm doing great.
I'm doing well. My voice is almost back to normal.
All right. So you're back from your emergency visit to the hospital that you worried half of Facebook about?
Nobody really cared about me.
I mean,
Nobody knew.
I found out the next day.
How?
Because Big Red texted me and he was like, "Hey, you heard from Timm? I heard he's dead." I'm like, "From who?" And he's like, he posted on Facebook
that he was dead.
That he was going into the hospital. And I'm like, all right, let me text him. And then I wait forever and then finally get a text back from Timm telling me that all right, or
all's good.
All's good, except it was Al Good. You failed to put the other L.
No, that was the name of my doctor. Al Good.
Al Good. All right. Well, we'd like to thank Al Good for his good work on Timm because I was actually thinking, well, are we going to do a show? You were just in the hospital or something.
It wasn't no thing.
Okay.
I was having just like a cleanup on the genitalia.
Okay.
That's all it was. Wasn't anything serious.
All right, then.
You got to do that sometimes. Just go in and get it cleaned up a little bit.
Right. Especially when you've got warts.
I mean, the toothbrush I use at home just doesn't fix it sometimes. You just need to have it done professionally.
Right. Because everybody takes after their genitalia with their own toothbrush.
Yeah.
That's not a toothbrush. That's just me trying to think of words and you use as a drop. Now, that's just my mental, hold on, words are coming.
My girl, my me do belong to mama.
And that, of course, is Timm trying to live read somebody's name that he can't figure out because maybe it has too many consonants. Look,
it's an Asian lady. I was drunk.
Are you still drunk?
I wish, man. I need a drink.
Okay.
Somebody bring me a drink here to the studio.
Yeah, it could happen if the doors weren't locked. So I did watch a couple of movies over the weekend, doing a little catch up because people told me when they first came out that they needed to check these out.
Right.
One of them that I checked out was Ryan Gosling's The Gray Man. It's a Netflix movie. He's a CIA operative, and the whole thing behind the Gray Man in this movie is that so they go to the jails and they find people that have particular sets of skills or whatever, and then they train them up and they become basically when they don't want to send an actual operative in, they want to send somebody they're going to go kill this guy and they want to be able to, not acknowledge that this happened. Well, they send a Gray Man in, right? So, but I'll tell you from this movie, I didn't expect this. Gosling's character in this, which is known as Sierra 6.
Call that band name.
Yeah. That's his name, his go-to name or whatever. His code name. He plays this character more Jason Bourne-ish than Damon played Bourne. Like the description on Bourne, if you read any of the books, is basically his face doesn't move. It's a constant mask of you don't know what's going on. It's a constant mask of just sternness and really just grit and will, right?
Right.
Gosling played this character more like that than Matt Damon played Jason Bourne, which is not a bad thing to say about, because I thought he played the character wonderfully. And he may have outdone that with this character. This was it. My now picture of ultimate willpower goes like John Wick, the Gray Man, then Jason Bourne.
Really?
And it's played by two characters that you don't think of when you think of high willpower action. At least at the time when John Wick came out, I wasn't thinking Keanu Reeves is like your high will-powered action guy, and neither Gosling either.
Right.
So I will tell you, if you haven't seen it, to go check that out. And it was confusing for you because you've watched the new Blade Runner and you're like, man, Gosling action guy. I don't think so.
I'm out. I didn't even finish watching it.
Which, that's a little bit of a step too far on that, but hey, you're welcome to be you. I'm telling you though, if you watch this, you may be able to go back and actually watch Blade Runner because you may think differently of the guy.
I mean, I'll give it a shot. I don't hate Ryan Gosling. I just don't respect him as an actor. How's that?
Seeing how that's his chosen profession in life, I'm thinking maybe, wow, poor guy.
I mean, he's a Mickey Mouse Club kid. I mean, that's what he is.
You know what? That would probably make most people feel bad. But if Ryan Gosling, if for some reason you're listening to this particular podcast, I would funny. That would be hilarious. And please go ahead and text into the show.
Text in, right?
Yeah. So
I'll apologize on the air.
That's right. So Ryan Gosling, 214-937-0569. Go ahead and text in and say, I'm Ryan Gosling and you suck, Tim. Or
I'm not going to disagree.
Something along that lines, but it shouldn't suck for Ryan Gosling because you've just put him in the same category as
Britney Spears.
No,
Justin Timberlake.
Man, I swear to God, I'm going to come through that room if you won't let me try and think of this. Denzel Washington.
I'm going to spit out my Dr. Pepper.
So, Ryan, you're now in the same group of like unwatchables as Denzel Washington. So if he thinks of bad actors, he thinks of you and Denzel. Congratulations. You're in the same room as Denzel.
I can throw another one there at you that you may agree with.
What's that?
Steve Carell.
For the thing that he's supposed to be most of the time, I think he's good at it because he's supposed to be him most of the time.
He's done one good thing in his career.
That Get Smart movie?
He's done two good things in his career. Get Smart and Anchorman.
Yes.
He was great as Britt Tamlin, where he really enjoyed a nice pair of pants.
Well, I mean, it was that and then everybody's favorite, The Office, right?
You know what? I'm not a huge fan of The Office. And when it was on, I never watched it until after he was off the show because I could not stand his character.
Wow.
Dude, just the uncomfortableness. It's like a Ben Stiller movie sometimes. But Ben Stiller's better, so I can even tolerate some of his, uncomfortable acting. But, dude, I could not watch a Michael Scott episode. It's just too uncomfortable. Nobody is that stupid.
Yes, but this character was. Like, you had to play. And plus, have you seen Facebook or Google searches? There are a lot of people out there that is this stupid.
Probably true.
So there's that. So I recommend going to watch that. I do not recommend going to watch R.I.P.D. 2. I tried. I got through half the movie. And even though it had the dude from Burn Notice in it, that was the lead character in this, is the lead character from Burn Notice. I don't remember your name.
Okay. I'll look it up.
He's normally he's like an actor that I pretty much can watch, but I couldn't. I made it through half.
Jeffrey Donovan.
Yes, Jeffrey Donovan. I couldn't. I made it through half of it. And I think the reason why I made it through half of it was because I kept waiting for it to get better and I finally gave up.
Yeah.
So I didn't know they were going to make a second one. And by the looks of this movie, neither did they.
Neither did they until the day they started filming it.
That's right. So there you are. I did see something. Okay. So today, as I segue nonchalantly and probably inadequately to this next section of subject, as so I'm driving down the freeway today, and I'm passing is Grapevine Sam's, which is the Sam's that the tornado. And now, by the way, in case you didn't know, they're that Sam's Club. If you're a fan of Grapevine Sam's, it's not coming back, bud. They just decided just to give up. So go ahead and get your Costco card now. So anyway, or go to the Keller Sam's. I guess it's a little bit of a drive, but you know, you live in Grapevine, you have to drive everywhere. So at any rate, I was driving by and I look up and there's a billboard, and the billboard's for a church. You know what? I can't tell you what church, because it's one of those billboards. The message that's across it is more intriguing than finding out where this message is being brought to you by. So I can't tell you the church whatsoever. But the thing said on the billboard, which I swear I drove for 10 minutes later and probably wasn't looking at the road because I was just thinking about what was going on with this billboard. So it's got a picture of, I guess it's the minister of this church, who actually, you know, looks like a cool guy. That's probably looks like, you know, a actual form of Jimmy Neutron's dad. So he's up there and he's got his, you know, hands open. And then it says, if Jesus, what would Jesus say? What would Jesus say to Caitlyn Jenner? And it's got a picture of Caitlyn Jenner, which immediately flooded my brain full of questions. Look, now I'm not going to attack this because I haven't heard the message. So I don't know what it is, right? So I'm not going to attack that, but my brain's like, so Jesus just started coming down. It's just, I mean, really, besides, you know, I heard from the Lord, whatever, through, you know, silent, you know, pushing and all that kind of good stuff, you know, the nudging and such like that. But actually Jesus is just like, now I got to talk to you. I don't think Caitlyn Jenner's on the first of the list to go talk to, right?
Did we? So we kind of ranked these off the air a little bit, right? Like who'd be first?
Yes.
I think I voted for Hitler.
You voted for Hitler, even though he would, you know, have to go back to hell and be like, hey, Hitler, even though we've kind of already done this judgment thing. And that's the reason why you're down here.
Can we talk?
Yeah. Really need to pick your brain some more. No, I think he's going to go to, like, you know, the world leaders and just kind of walk in. And I don't even know if there's going to be much of a conversation. I think it's just going to be more along the lines of smite, 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 smite. You're okay. Smite, smite, smite.
Wait, who was that was okay? I want to go live there.
I figure that one guy, there's got to be one person up there that's actually,
Probably.
you know, thinking about the things that they tell everybody they're thinking about.
The president of Florida.
Right. Yeah. That guy. Because because news and notes always happens. But
Yeah.
I can't see. I mean, that's not the first person Jesus is going to want to talk to about the things going on this planet. It's like, now, first things first, I need to handle up on this Caitlyn Jenner situation.
Oh, yeah. That's probably not at the top of Jesus's mind.
Right.
What the hell Caitlyn Jenner's doing?
No, it's
although, do you think there's a chance that Jesus would come back and meet Caitlyn Jenner and go, I used to know a guy. Are you possibly related to Bruce?
Right. I mean, maybe.
How'd you like to explain that to Jesus?
Yeah, I would think that would be Jesus playing dumb, because Jesus
Right.
already knows.
Of course,
right?
of
mean,
course.
he's got courtside seats.
But he's got a sense of humor.
right, because of all those times in the Bible that showed it.
Right. I mean, he tells jokes. He's got jokes.
Right.
He turned water to wine and like rocks to bread, and
I mean, you know, and
yeah, and you know, as we go on our Jesus laugh track here, there was a time when Jesus turned those stones to bread. He watched somebody. We'll call Peter out. All right, the Apostle Peter here took that bread, and right before he puts it in his mouth and bites it, Jesus is like, and turned it back to a rock, and then Peter like bites on a rock. I bet you Jesus had jokes.
yeah. I've never imagined this side of Jesus.
Or what if he turned it back into a rock after it was in his stomach?
Oh, made him feel more full.
Yeah. See, Jesus got jokes, man.
Right. It takes longer to digest.
Hey, Caitlin, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I see. I don't know. I'm thinking Jesus kind of goes, so how's it going? And I mean, that's pretty much it. Because I mean, she's long hair and a dress. You seen any pictures of Jesus? Long hair and a dress. And he's probably seen plenty of people like higher ups wear makeup. So what? She wants to be pretty. Congratulations. Anyway, I digress into that. But it stopped my brain for a good, 15, 20 minutes, like I said. I mean, 10 minutes, I realized where I was, and I was trying to get on to 360, and that was, that happened. But after that, I was just like, where, really? This is what we got to worry about? Okay, cool. I mean, as long as this is all we got to worry about and not, like artificial intelligence, having an uprising or anything like that, or a new plague or whatever, this is what we got to worry about, then that's effing cool.
Right.
I'm okay with that. Or the fact that, every once in a while I still see a Google post or whatever, and it's like, we're about to run out of bacon, or we're about to run out of beer or something, and you need to learn to eat plant meats now.
Oh, Lord. Eat an Impossible Whopper.
Actually, not bad.
Oh, I've had them.
That's not bad. There's not enough protein in it.
Mm-mm.
There's really not. Sorry.
I still like my burger.
Sorry, vegetarians. There's not a whole lot of. Do you know how many how much like protein powder, vegan protein powder you've got to do to equate like the whey isolate? It's so much. It is so much. There's very few high-powered. I'm not getting into this. I will go on for.
How do vegetarians get their protein?
So it's
artificially, right?
Yeah, the guys that are like vegan that are also like bodybuilders, they have to consume a lot of this. It's basically a pea protein powder where they just concentrate all the protein out of peas, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's where you get your shakes from. And so, because it takes a lot of protein to build muscle, like quite a bit. And you can't really do that on a just basically vegan diet, not without some kind of supplementation. So there has to be that goes on. I mean, you can live a normal life, because most people that aren't like muscle builders or not trying to get bigger as far as muscular wise, they can get in enough protein and stuff to sustain what they've got through, but to try and do what I'm trying to do naturally, which is tough as hell when you're like 46 because your body's fighting you on your muscle growth or whatever. But yeah, I forgot where I'm at.
How did we get here?
Squirrel.
We went from Jesus to protein.
Yeah. We went from, did we talk about Adam Driver being?
No, we hadn't got there yet.
Okay.
Another miscasting here.
Maybe.
We think.
Maybe. So word going around the MCU water cooler is that they're close to, if not have already internally confirmed, that your Reed Richards, which is Mr. Fantastic, which was played by Office guy in, what is his name? The guy that's
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski. I was about to say Mr. Mike Kowalski or something. I don't know. Monsters Inc.
That's Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Shocked that you know that.
Yeah. Well, Blaze was really into that character.
Love Monsters Inc.
Back in the day. So he was Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. Well, that character for the MCU, because that was a guy from another multiverse or whatever, is going to be Adam Driver. So
so weird to me.
Kylo Ren is going to be Mr. Fantastic. So he's going to be Stretching Man, and also the smartest human being in the MCU.
Is that what Reed Richards is touted as?
The smartest human in.
He's smarter than Tony Stark?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Smarter than, so their brain that they're missing that they had in Tony Stark is going to be Reed Richards. So,
gotcha.
And plus, a version of Iron Man's coming back. We just don't know which one.
Right.
Because it's probably not RDJ
Mm-hmm.
because of things, even though they really wanted it and had a contract signed. But I'm pretty sure somebody done tore that up. So we'll have to wait and see for Secret Wars. Anyway, that's my announcement on that. Looks like Adam Driver is there. And also I did put a post up on Facebook just real quick that if you've ever thought you wanted to see Nicolas Cage in a Superman costume fighting a giant spider, you're probably in luck, because
Get your wish.
it looks like that's going to be a cut scene in the Flashpoint movie. So the new Flash movie that we've been talking about for, I don't know, 5 years, 4 years, something like that. Looks like one of the go through time sequences that you'll be able to see is Nick Cage's Superman, the one that never got made. That all we got was that really funky looking Superman costume with him in it, with his Con Air long hair. So him fighting a giant spider. So if you've ever thought, man, I'd just like to see that on the silver screen, well, go. Unless this somehow miraculously hits the cutting room floor like the day before theatrical release, this looks like this is what's going to happen. So if I just spoiled it for you and you were going to be shocked by it, because I was going to be shocked by it, let's be honest, nobody thought they were going to see Nick Cage in a Superman costume. Then there you go. That's what's happening.
Colby,
yeah,
I'd like to introduce a new segment.
Okay.
A new mini segment called What is Today? Because I had somebody ask me, apparently this person is really into the National So-and-so Day, National such and such day, right? And we have these pretty much every day.
Right.
But we have a really interesting one. And I guess I didn't realize how big of a thing this is, having a national blank day.
Okay.
Because there's some pretty good ones every day that we just seem to pass by and don't know. Like, I don't know. So I thought, to wrap up the intro segment each show, I might just share with y'all what day it is. And I know it's late in the day, so you can't really celebrate it if you didn't already know. But still, when our show moves to middays, it'll work better.
Right. You hear that, Johnny?
Yeah. Come on with it. So today, and there's some good ones and there's some really good ones.
Is this a game that's happening today?
This is a game that's happening today.
Let's go.
Not to steal anything.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
That's all we do is steal things around here.
That's right.
In addition to being Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, it's also...
You can't laugh after saying that. You just hold on. You can't do the setup day, then snicker after you said what you said.
Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, Colby. I don't know why are you laughing?
You're the one that
It's
giggled.
a serious topic. I knew an Armenian once. It is also I can't even say this one with a straight face. It is also National Brandon Day.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Shout out to Kevin's kid. Exploring
the variations and cultural influences that revolve around this name that's predominantly given to boys.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes our president. Politics. How about International Day of Multilateralism and Diplomacy for Peace?
So is that like the last play in football?
Freaking idea. But the picture has a bunch of people with flags on their arms holding hands. So I'm sure it has something to do with us all getting along with each other.
Okay.
Screw that.
Man, I was hoping that the picture of it was just a giant fish hook and some ladders.
Multilateral.
Yeah, well, hook and ladder.
Not of the ones that have importance, Colby.
Okay.
It's National Scream Day.
Scream?
Like you just scream whenever you want, I guess.
Okay.
On today. So if somebody screams on National Scream Day, don't call 911.
Right.
Because they're just going along with it.
Ah!
I'm calling 911.
Don't do it. You just
I broke my own rule. It is also National Skipping Day.
Okay.
where I guess we're supposed to skip everywhere.
You know what? It's
a good exercise. That'll burn some calories.
I do the jogger skip every now and again, so I guess that counts.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't do it today.
How about National Pigs in a Blanket Day?
Oh,
coincidentally, I had those for breakfast.
It's been a while. It's been probably no. It's been right at about a year and a half.
Do love me a good pig in a blanket.
I do too.
And Colby, finally, maybe a day we need to start celebrating nationally. It is National New Kids on the Block Day.
Oh. The white stuff.
It's not Canadian.
No, that's the Weird Albert.
So remember all of our Armenian brothers, and also remember Pope Benedict the 16th because he was coronated today. And whatever year that was.
Okay.
All right, Colby. So there's what day it is. We need to get into that earlier. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes. This is the segment that I go through after he goes through what day it is. Well, this is the day of the birthdays of the people that I've put on this list. And they're famous enough to make my list. And then once I tell them to you, you go ahead and let us know who you think is the good person, who you think is the bad person, and who you think is the ugly person. By the way, this is also brought to you by a shout out from me to a little taco and torta place that's over in Bedford called Gigi's. And the reason why I'm shouting them out is because unbeknownst to me, I was going in to get my Gigi's torta, and I didn't realize on Saturdays that they close at 6:00.
So it's not a party place.
It is not. It is your mom and pop taco place.
Oh, so they want to go party. That's why they close early.
Yes.
Sweet. I want to party with them.
So, anyway, so at 6:01, their door was still open. I didn't realize what was going on. I walked in, and the lady behind the counter looks up and goes, "Oh, hey, you know what? Can you lock that door behind you and we'll get you whatever you want?"
Oh, nice.
Didn't tell me to leave, didn't whatever. So I turned around, click, and they made my torta. They made tacos for the rest of everybody, and I got them up. I had a pretty big order.
Yep.
They didn't care, and was really nice. So, hey,
what's your torta of choice there?
My torta of choice is the Gigi's because it has the chicken, it has the bacon, it has the sausage, it has the hot dogs, it has the everything.
Hot dogs?
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink of meats.
It is. Yeah. It's everything that they've got back there put on a torta.
Huh.
So it's amazing. Everything there was really good. And if you are a fan of a chicharron taco, go there. If you have never had a chicharron taco, then you're probably not a fan of one. It's something you have to grow up with, Tim.
Chicharrones.
Yeah, because they're not the crispy fried.
Right.
They're the actual, it's the boiled pig skins.
Right.
So if you're not a fan of it, you're probably not a fan of the texture. But if you've had one and you love it, then go there because they're authentic.
Just for the record, I am not.
I didn't figure you were. So there you go. Shout out to Gigi's. I told him I'd do it, and I did it.
Sweet,
all right.
there it is.
So let's start off today a little baseball because I'm feeling a little baseball happy for what's going on with your Texas Rangers. First place Texas Rangers. Turning 56 years old today, one Omar Vizquel.
Wow. Former Rangers manager, right?
No,
not a manager. He's
just
shortstop.
Shortstop, yeah.
Then he went to he left here to go manage like Chicago or something.
Right. But he had to swim through his little Texas Rangers here.
Yes.
And always was a fan just because he seemed like he seemed like Michael Young for everybody else's team that he was on. Right. So I liked him. Turning 46 years old today, another ex-Ranger, but also an ex-Astro. So kind of, Carlos Beltran.
Man, his swim through Texas was not very long.
No, it was not.
But it was memorable.
He did don the jersey for a little bit.
He did.
So there's that. And 51 years old today, the dude that, man, I had trouble with anybody that said for some reason they didn't like this particular fella, and he never played for my team, but it was Chipper Jones.
Man, I tried to hate Chipper Jones.
Right?
You're really 51.
Yes.
I tried to hate Chipper Jones because he played for the Braves, which just a team I wanted to hate because they were so good, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But dude, it's hard to hate Chipper Jones. He was a good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't, anybody that ever said, like, yeah, I don't like him. It's like, man, you are a Pirates fan? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be a rival, a fan of one of their rivals to not like him for
right.
sure.
So it is also his birthday today. Now, turning 58 years old, Jaimin Hounsu. And
Can you spell that for me?
DJIMONHOUNSOU. You will notice him as he's in like everything. As soon as you see him, he was in Guardians. He's in everything. He just always plays this, character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I recognize him now.
Yeah. So, and everything he's in, as soon as he's in it, I'm like, well, this has got to be a good movie because they've got him. And once you get him, then the rest of everybody else is going to be super cool. So,
right.
So put him on the list. 88 years old today. One Shirley MacLaine.
Is she still alive?
She's 88. It didn't have a death date, so I'm assuming alive.
Dude, she's one of my favorite actresses. Check out The Apartment sometime, Colby.
Okay.
Her and Jack Lemmon. Fred McMurray from My Three Sons, also in that movie. Old black and white. It's a Billy Wilder movie. You're familiar with Billy Wilder.
I am not.
He was also the man responsible for Some Like It Hot.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you're familiar with that. Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe.
I've heard of all of these things. I've never sat down and watched any of these.
Really good. Good stuff.
Out of my viewing range.
Right.
So Cedric the Entertainer is 58 years old, and here comes Timm with his thoughts on Cedric the Entertainer.
Colby, the next funny thing he does will be the first.
And I pretty much can just name. I just know when I'm about to name somebody anybody like that Timm doesn't think they're funny.
We've done this show for a long time.
Yes. Phil Robertson turns 70. By the way, I like Cedric the Entertainer. Phil Robertson turned 76. He once backed up Terry Bradshaw at college.
Yes, he did at Louisiana Tech.
That's right.
Then he had sons and started a duck dynasty.
That's right.
Literally.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
I like Phil.
Jack Quaid turns 31 years old. If you haven't watched The Hunger Games and or The Boys, and then you probably don't know who Jack Quaid is. If you have, then you understand who Jack Quaid is.
I don't know who he is.
Have you watched The Boys?
I watched half of the first episode.
Okay, so he's the guy that's girl gets obliterated.
Okay. Gets disintegrated.
Yes.
I pretty much turned it off right after that.
So that's him. And then he ends up being a main character in it.
Gotcha.
Courage JD turns 28 years old. You have no idea who this is because you don't watch people that play video games on YouTube. I know who he is because I do that. And dude's a funny. He's a pretty much everything. He likes doing bits with his games. Like he'll spin a wheel and and choose everybody's guns for them before they walk in.
Oh, nice.
And they'll end up with like the crappiest guns and just, bitching the whole time.
Right.
It's pretty hilarious. Barbra Streisand turns 80 years old.
I had her on my own list because I didn't know if you would recognize her.
Yes.
There's also one other one on my list that I'm wondering if you're going to.
I've only got one more left, so we'll see.
Okay.
Turning 40 years old today. One Kelly Clarkson.
There it is, Colby. Kelly Clarkson's a good.
Damn right she's a good.
And she's a local brat.
Yeah, she is.
She's a little hefty these days.
You know what?
There's nothing wrong with that.
I am not mad at it.
No. At least she owns it.
Oh, yeah.
A
little push and cushion.
By the way, Kelly, we know you're listening. I just want to say, I still would. I don't care what disagreements we've had in the past. I don't care what arguments that we've had, what racial slurs we've shared together.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I don't think
I still would. So just give me a call. Let's make this thing official. Let's make it happen. And I don't even care about the other women. I'm here for you.
Okay.
I love you, Kelly. You know what, Barbara Streisand, while we're at it, I would still you too, okay? Let's just do it.
Just
all three of us. How about me, a Kelly Clarkson, and Barbara Streisand threesome on their birthdays? I mean, let's just do it. Let's put it together.
You know what, Tim? Seeing as how you're really stepping out there, you know what? I'm all for it, bud.
Good.
I'm all for it.
I have Colby's blessing.
Just go. If you can go ahead and somehow end up in some kind of co-ed naked twister threesome with Barbara Streisand and Kelly Clarkson at the same time, that's a story that you can tell your great grandkids. You won't make it that far to tell them.
Somebody will tell them.
But somebody will let them know that happened.
I would be way more of a legend than I am now.
And show them the digital whatever they have in the future.
Whatever it is. Whatever form of storage.
Yes. Whatever it is.
Wait, are you suggesting I'm going to videotape this?
I
mean, I'd have to, right? I'd have to have proof.
Yeah. You can't just walk into a party and be like, look, I just diddled Barbara Streisand
and Kelly Clarkson
at the same time. And people will be like, okay.
How dare you not believe me?
And, yeah. And I just got through choke slamming Kane and The Undertaker at the same time, right? In that parking lot.
Right.
So, yeah. By the way, that reference is brought to you by because there's wrestling on one of the TVs. And my brain was searching for a hypothetical. That's what happens. So,
Colby, Facebook birthdays.
Yes.
Former Dallas Cowboy great Sam Hurd.
Oh,
has a birthday today. He just got out of the clink too.
Yep.
So he's actually probably celebrating for the first time in a while.
Yes. Probably with weed.
You know what he went to jail for? Or was it work? It was more than weed, right? Or was it just a bunch of weed? Him and Nate Newton?
I think Sam Hurd was a bunch of weed. I think.
Like a truck full of it or something?
Yeah, it's like a Winnebago full.
A Weedabago?
Yeah, a Weedabago. You know what? I now need to move to Denver and have a food truck that does nothing but Munchies food and call it the Weedabago. Oh, wait. It'll be bagel, fusion food, and it'll be the Weedabago.
It'll be weed infused bagels.
Yes.
Or cream cheese.
Yes. The Weedabago.
Yes. Y'all don't steal our ideas, all right? We don't have very many. Classmates Dustin Merriam and Mark Broker and April Brenniger.
I wonder what Mark Broker does for a living.
He brokers other marks.
Okay.
No clue. I haven't talked to him since high school. April?
Yeah.
Give me a call. What's up? And then celebrating birthdays upcoming, Colby, we have the great Parker Hillis.
Wow.
Tomorrow on Tuesday, celebrating a birthday.
All right. Well, he's all the way back here doing things.
He's not in Dallas, right? He's in Houston.
I thought he moved back up here.
Oh, did he?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know.
I
don't know things.
It's been a while since I've actually texted Parker. I probably need
I thought he was doing the thing in Houston still. And our good friend of the show who watches all the time, Brittany Schneider.
Hey,
birthday tomorrow.
What's up, Brittany Schneider?
Yeah, what's up, Britt? And then Colby.
Yep.
My former co-host on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 down there on that Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. NASCAR Dennis.
Oh.
With a birthday tomorrow.
What's going on, NASCAR Dennis?
It was NASCAR Dennis and IndyCarTim. Those were the days.
Were they?
I mean, they were fun.
Okay.
Got me here.
Yeah.
Still here.
Yeah.
So yes, there's your Facebook birthdays.
Woot. Okay. So I went through the list in case you weren't paying attention. Well, I'm not reading them again. So sorry about your luck. Go ahead and tell us who your good, bad, and ugly is. You can do that via the text line 214-937-0569 or that Facebook chat or wherever you're at right now. Go ahead and do that as Tim tells us who he thinks the good, bad, and the ugly.
Colby, this one was easy.
Was it?
Very easy. My good, yes, I could have gone Streisand and Clarkson.
Uh-huh.
And after we get our arrangement together and we fulfill that fantasy, they'll probably be goods next year.
Okay.
However, my good is Shirley MacLaine because she's 88 and I probably still would.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
No offense, Barbara. I like older women. You're only 80. McLean's got you beat. My bad. I mean, there's one clear choice. Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh, poor Cedric.
And my ugly, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, Mr. Phil Robertson, because I have all the respect in the world for you, sir.
Okay.
But you are ugly.
You don't like the big beard look.
No, I do. But I recognize that it's not for everybody. And people think I'm ugly.
All right, police.
I got a Duck Dynasty beard going.
I mean, yeah.
So I get it. That's why I said no disrespect.
Right.
It's just national perception. All right. Society does this to us. Idiots.
So my good, and it's really a toss-up from 3. It was either going to be Chipper Jones, Courage JD, or Kelly Clarkson. And I got to go Kelly Clarkson. I even watch stupid commercials she's on, and I don't hate them.
Really? Because you hate commercials.
I hate commercials.
Have you ever watched her show?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I probably should.
You know what? You know why? I'm afraid of it'll be a talk show that I'll watch. Then I'm like everybody else.
I mean, it's a talk show for sure.
Yeah, but I don't watch any of them.
I don't either.
See, so there you go. My bad has to be. It's got to be Carlos Beltran because he played for the Astros.
Right. Way longer than he played for the freaking Rangers.
Damn right. Because there's no way Chipper Jones could be my bad.
No.
And the ugly, yeah, bud. The ugly goes to, sorry, dude, Shirley MacLaine. Never thought.
Never thought she was cute?
Never.
Have you seen her when she was young?
No. She's always been the old bat in the movies.
That's true.
That has the turtle eyelids. I'm out.
Colby, can I tease you with some younger pictures of Shirley MacLaine?
It's not going to change my answer, but go ahead.
No. I'm not trying to change your answer because we're going based on the now and the today.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, she is, of course, old and not as attractive. But let me throw this Dooga-Majuber at you.
Oh, no, that's the name of a picture.
Dooga-Majuber. Trying to get the picture here. Okay, here we go. As we look at Shirley MacLaine, probably in her mid to late 20s.
Waiting on it. Damn it. You know what? Yeah, okay.
She was cute.
Yeah.
She's no Kelly Clarkson or Barbara Streisand.
Yes, and she obviously doesn't have the turtle eyelids in that one. So,
okay, what are turtle eyelids?
Pretty much, it's when you've got like the eyelid and then the double eyelid that come down, and then another one on top of it, like the eyelid wrinkles.
Oh, I'm familiar with those.
Okay, so that's pretty much where that's it for me.
So let me show you also real quick before we move on to some NFL stuff.
Hurry, my coffee's running low.
A shot of her from the aforementioned movie The Apartment, which I think was one of her best. And it's in black and white, Colby. It's from 1960. Or as the old people say, 1960.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we got to put like an and between the letters.
2023.
I don't say it that way. I say 2023.
Yeah, well, you don't have to.
But there she is in black and white way back in 1960. One of my favorite movies, The Apartment. And it's for 1960, kind of touchy subject matter for a comedy. She plays a prostitute, Colby.
All right. Hey, you know what? I heard that hookers don't call them farts. They call them prostitutes.
So I have a question then.
What's that?
What would you call that thing that you did right before the show in there earlier?
Oh, that's figuring
Was
out.
that a prostitute?
That was figuring out the woes of plant protein, my friend.
God, dude. I think it's bleeding through the glass right now.
That's pretty much dissipated by now.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that was bad. I've had the bad toots pretty much for the past couple of days. I can't wait for whatever it is that's dead to leave.
Whatever's in your butt needs to leave.
That's what I'm waiting on to go.
Jeez.
So, yeah, no, something's dead.
Terrible. It's terrible. Colby, we are just mere days away from the 2023 NFL draft.
Which, by the way, if you're interested and live anywhere near here and you want to come see us do a draft show, it's happening because we're going to go hang out with Fish.
We are. I'm about to put some info on the screen for everybody that's watching. If I can get rid of the Shirley MacLaine pictures here.
Okay.
But yes, Thursday for round 1. Of course, that's the only round they do on Thursday now.
Right.
As the other rounds are now spread apart from Friday and Saturday.
Slackers.
We will be live in Carrollton, Texas at the Maverick Bar, 1616 West Hebron Parkway in Carrollton. TheMaverickBar.com. Fish is there. He hosts this draft party every year. We were there last year. We weren't on the air because I was doing writing stuff.
Right.
But now I get to get out of my writing stuff because I can broadcast.
Woo!
So we will be there broadcasting live for the first round. We start at 6. The draft starts at 7. So we're going to come on with a little pregame. We'll have some drinks. We'll have some food. Come out and have some drinks and food with us. It's going to be a really, really fun time. It is every year at the Maverick Bar. We will also be broadcasting on Fish's YouTube channel, simulcast.
Wow.
For his regular Fish at 6 program, as well as all across the FanStream Sports Network, the FanStream Sports app, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and then later that night on your favorite podcast app if you would like to hear all of it on the recorded part. But yeah, we'll be breaking down. We've got some draft guys coming on with us. We've got Mr. Tito Thidoff that hosts the Ohio State Buckeyes Daily Blitz for us. And then also JP Peterson will be joining us on the phone. Or maybe if Colby talks me into it, maybe on video. I haven't figured out how to do all this yet. But to talk some Tampa Bay and just some general draft stuff for the first hour before we get into the picks. Colby and I will be talking Cowboys draft.
Right.
As they hold the number 26 pick.
Got a little bit of ways to wait to find out what happens with that pick right there.
Yeah, but let's get into that just a little bit. But good. We would love to have everybody out to hang out with us on Thursday at the Maverick Bar in Carrollton. So Colby, we kind of talked a little bit off the air as far as what the Cowboys were going to do or what we think they might do. And I confessed, this is the first time in a long time this close to the draft that I literally have no freaking idea what direction they're going, which side of the ball they're prioritizing.
Right.
Because they really haven't, tipped their hand at all.
No, they haven't. And it's weird. Now, I was listening pretty intently as they had a press conference on 105.3 The Fan that had Steven, that had Jerry, all of them kind of talking about what's going on with the NFL draft. And I was listening pretty intently on what was being said. And really the only thing that came across was it sounds like, and of course it was, that Jerry's, kicking around trade ideas, which, let's be honest, they're not going after a quarterback. So a trade down scenario is probably more highlighted than a trade up, not unless there's somebody that they highly covet that's getting close and they just need a few spots and it won't cost them very much to go get them. I don't see that particularly happening. The other thing that kind of came out while I was listening was the fact that, man, they were really talking highly about their running back position, on how they like Malik and they like Tony Pollard, and which that kind of leads me to believe that even if, good God, if this happens, I'm going to be so mad.
Talked about flipping tables.
Yes. Even if like Bijan Robinson is there at 26, which I don't think will be there because people aren't that dumb. They can't be.
You'd be surprised.
And even if he's there, they're not going to pick him, which I'm gonna say this when one side of my mouth, and also say something out the other side. Hey, if this happens, I am going to flip a table. I am going to be mad. I'm probably going to have to leave the broadcast for a little bit because I'm going to be that Cowboys upset with that. With that being said, you right now are on a string where whatever the Dallas Cowboys do in the draft in the first round is going to be good.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, whether they've been following this, whatever it is, the S2 test longer than anybody else, or their scouts are just rock solid as far as they're locked in. Whatever it is, the first round has been an epic good. The second round has been where you kind of use question marks. But, Jerry talked about that during the press conference.
Yeah.
He said the second round is kind of where they look for the guy with warts that has the first round potential. They're just looking for the guy with the warts to see if it'll work out. And so far, by the way, it hadn't. There hadn't been a guy that's really worked out there. But, again, the first round has been pretty good. And I know everybody, including Timm, would love to sit here and just talk about the tight end from Notre Dame for the rest of the time we have scheduled for this.
That'd be fun.
I am of the note that even though I do understand that the tight end from Notre Dame, what's his name?
Mayor.
Mayor. Yeah, that's right. The soon to be mayor of Dallas.
Probably.
I understand, and I've seen enough from him not to remember his name because I'm file cabinet stupid right now. That he's a good. I look at the tight end position and I'm like, man, it's so deep in this draft. And I think you've got goods in Hendershot and Ferguson. And if you wait till the third or fourth, you could still get a really good tight end. And you can put them behind them and you've got your 3 tight ends again.
I agree with that. But what if this guy's your bona fide starter? Because I don't think, well, we haven't seen enough of Ferguson. Hendershot is definitely not a bona fide number 1 tight end in the NFL.
Okay.
He's great. And I love Hendershot. He's great for depth. And I think he's a great 2 or 3. But if you know somehow that Michael Mayer is your bona fide, like he's your next Jason Witten.
Okay.
If that's what you think about him, then I think you have to take him in the first round. Now, that's the only way I would take him at 26, is if you think beyond the shadow of a doubt, this is your tight end, this is your Jason Witten, this is your Jay Novacek.
Right.
This is your Doug Cosby, whatever. How far back do you want to go with tight ends? I mean, you have to take him at 26. But nobody knows that for sure.
Nobody knows that for sure. You're correct. And I've heard enough to tell me that that's just, the closest you're going to get to that all-time great is him. That's my thinking, though, as far as when it comes to Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
Is I think he's like locked in. It's going to be an all-time great no matter where he goes.
Really? Okay. You're a little higher on him than I am.
And it's because of normally when you watch a college running back and you see a really good college running back, you see the holes open, he bursts through and he just runs a long way and he's not touched a whole lot. Right. I've seen so many runs this year that I've thought he should already be stopped here. He should already be stopped there. He's definitely not. Oh, he's in the end zone. And I've watched that happen time and time and time again. And for that kind of movement and his ability to stay out of the big tackle, not unlike a Marcus Allen, enough shift to move out of the way. Not like jazzy like Barry Sanders, but it's just smooth. It's almost Gale Sayers like. But he has a little bit of the Ricky Williams feet.
Right.
It's a smaller gait.
Yeah.
And it looks super cool, but also it's like, oh my God, how is he doing this? And I see him as being a epic running back from a long time to come. which is our normal running back's career, what, 6-7 years? So for that,
And maybe
6-7 years, he's going to be amazing.
Right.
And then he's going to be good, and then he's going to be out of the league. But if you're going for it now, when you're trying to fix this offense now, then yeah, I'd rather you picked up the running back over the all-time great tight end myself.
Mm-hmm.
But more than likely, the Texas running back is not going to be there. He's just not at 26.
And we talked about this before the show too. You think he's better coming out of college than Ezekiel Elliott was coming out of college? Like, you've got him higher than you would have had Zeke, of course.
And I had Zeke really freaking high.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, they picked Zeke with the 4th overall pick,
right?
Which was still, I don't care how good he was, what he did for you. That is ridiculous to take a running back 4th, even in 2016 when they did it. I mean, that was still one of the stupidest draft picks. I don't care what he did. I don't care how long he was here. That was a stupid draft pick.
It wasn't a bust
that high. No, not a bust at all. No.
That's the one thing. If you're that high, you want to make sure you don't bust. They didn't.
No, they didn't bust. I mean, I love Zeke. As a matter of fact, one of my theories is I think they bring Zeke back. He's getting 0 offers. And dude, he's only 27.
No, he might.
And I mean, if you get Robinson, then no. I mean, he's not. There's no reason for him to come back because they're very similar players. Ability-wise, talent-wise, they can both catch, they can both block, they can both play out of the slot, but that's what you got Pollard for, probably, is to play more out of the slot. But at 26, as much as I hated Elliott at number 4, I wouldn't hate Robinson at 26. I don't want you to go draft another running back. That high. Like, wait till the 3rd round, man, to go get a running back.
And I guess the reason why I'm saying is that because from what we've seen the Dallas Cowboys kind of do leading into this and securing and signing people and such like that, it feels kind of like they're going for something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then effing go for it.
But do you think they're just a running back away, though? I mean,
no, I think they need to basically draft all offense. I think you need offensive linemen. I think you need that tight end, but I'm saying go for that in like the 3rd round, 2nd round, be a really good offensive lineman. And if Robinson's there in the 1st round, get it and go, like, really go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going for the Super Bowl, then go. And I think Robinson, like, bam, he just makes you automatically soup. Can you imagine you're basically, you franchise tag TP, you run the hell out of Bijan Robinson, and then the playoffs come along and you start using more Tony Pollard because of the wall that Bijan hits. And you've got a fresh Tony Pollard for your playoff run. Oh, hell yes. I'm in. If
Bijan can be that guy, I don't have a problem with it, because really, think about it, the Cowboys don't have a long-term solution at running back. I mean, Pollard's on a 1-year deal on the franchise tag.
Right.
Malik Davis, I don't know what his deal is. He's probably got another year left, but I mean, he's not going to be your RB1. So, if they draft Robinson, I don't think they're just playing for now. He's the future. Like, they want him at running back for the next 5-6 years.
Correct.
To do what Zeke did. I mean, hopefully with the only difference being a Super Bowl. So, but yes, we would love to have you guys join us this Thursday at the Maverick Bar and Grill, 1616 West Stephen Parkway in Carrollton, Texas.
And before we see all the comments, I realize I said it multiple times. I don't expect him to be there at that draft pick.
Yeah.
But we're such a question mark on who the Cowboys are going to end up getting at that spot, or who they even looking at, that we can pretty much talk about anybody until they're drafted.
Yep. And we'll talk a little bit more Cowboys on Wednesday night's show, the day before the draft, because we'll probably hear some things between now and then, I'm sure, from somewhere about what they may be thinking. But Colby, other than that, let's go to break.
All right. So coming up next, Disney World is moving to Texas, ? Also, the biggest draft busts that's our list. The Stars playoff recap, a little XFL playoffs preview, and then I've got news and notes where we found that artificial intelligence Nostradamus is going to tell us about the future. That's all coming up next.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hey, everybody. IndyCar Tim here. I want to tell you about our friends over at Turf Life. Turf Life is the brand that salutes the consumer and the industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. It addresses the games we play and the jobs we do. Turf Life showcases sports, business, education, and our enjoyment of the outdoors. Head over to Turflife.club.com, become a turf head, and join the club today. Snag your window decal or other special Turf Life accessories over at Turflife.club.com, and I'll see you there. Thank you, Turf Life.
Hey there, it's Colby Sapp. I'm here to talk to you about the Highlands Performance Golf Center, North Dallas's premier golf practicing facility. Practicing? If you're practicing, you're going to need some things like, a premier golf practice facility. So what goes into a premier golf practice facility? It's 65 plus. That means more than 65 grass tees, 2 practice putting surfaces, a short game area, an indoor putting studio, and an 18-hole mini golf course. But wait, there's more. You can also take advantage of their PGA teaching pros. Get your golf game the level up that you so desperately need. What if it's raining? That's a good question, Tito. Well, they've got covered tees, Tito. Also, if it's cold, they've got heated tees, Tito. So take your game or your Tito out to Highlands Performance Golf Center. And if you need internets, well, highlandspgc.com. Go there, get your golf game right by going to the Highlands Performance Golf Center. See you later, Tito. And also you too. Or if you're sitting with Tito. Horrible dismount. It's a commercial. End.
And hi, golfers. IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there. Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCar Tim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour-grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's orca-golf.com, and use our promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf, best choice in game. Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCar Tim show right here on FanStream Sports. It is a Monday evening. Welcome in. Hope you guys are enjoying your night so far. I know we are. We're just getting dumb here, Colby.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're dumbos. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in the first hour. We call this the Power Hour. Is that what this is?
Is that the last part of the Arnie Spanier show?
I guess so. Like,
It's a Power Hour, Colby.
What that means, though.
We can call it the something hour.
The meltdown hour.
This is the hour segments that weren't good enough to make it into the first hour.
Right. And if you missed the first hour, shame on you, because we discussed the potential of me, Kelly Clarkson, and Barbara Streisand all having a threesome on their birthdays.
And also, what would Jesus tell Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Caitlyn, related to someone named Bruce?
Didn't I know you?
Like, that'd be a great bit, right?
Oh my goodness. See now somebody's going to take that out of context, and we're going to be like, we think Jesus isn't going to know transgender people.
That's not what we're saying.
Gosh, not. But I wanted to cut that off at the pass. No jokes.
Cut it off at the jokes, Colby. as I'm looking for my, hang on.
Do you find a list?
I'll get it. Hang on.
Hey, did everybody notice that my coffee cup says pothead?
That's what we call a double entendre.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I had a list, didn't I? Let's get that list out. Colby, as it is time for List This, which is what we call our list segment until we can come up with something better.
Yeah, because we pretty much, if we didn't steal it from K&C, we stole it from Ben and Skin and or G-Bag Nation or Scuttlebutt or Speakeasy, all of them. You know, we pretty much just anybody there, we're going to steal stuff from you.
And we may need to vamp for a minute because my list is gone.
So I can definitely do that.
20 seconds.
I'm good at vamping. 1, 2, I love to suck blood. So as he's trying to find this, go ahead and list your best ways to waste time during the day while you're at work. Maybe there's a particular phone game that you like to play, puzzle game, or you like to play solitaire. When's the last time you played Minesweeper? And has anybody ever finished the super big Minesweeper that like covers like all of the computer screen?
I've never played Minesweeper
in
my life.
I did quite a bit because I was hell bent on like finishing like the one, like I said, that's as big as the screen. I couldn't. I would because it's at some point all of them have 4s and 5s. There's like 5 bombs next to this.
Right.
This square that you're about to, and all of them say that. It's like, man, okay, none of them say like 1.
All right. Colby, I have our list. That was really good vamping, by the way.
Yes, I told you I was good at it.
You're professional.
Mm-hmm. Just open up my brain and let words spill out.
So I have in front of me the top 50 all-time NFL draft busts. And no, we're not going to go through all 50.
No.
There's no need to. Although I will power rank all the way down to 1. Let me know when you hear a familiar name here, Colby.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Detmer?
Ty Detmer.
Number 50. By the way, drafted in the 9th round in 1992. They don't have 9 rounds anymore.
No, but he was going to be something big, something special out of
BYU.
Yes, Brigham Young.
Brigham Young University.
Which is still uncomfortably named.
I don't know that that's the real name, but number 49, Mike Williams, wide receiver, USC. Back in that part of that 05 team.
That was one of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, man, they had a little trouble drafting.
Didn't they draft a wide receiver like first, like 5 years in a row?
Yeah, I mean they ended up with Megatron, so at some point
they chased him away.
Yeah, he decided he didn't want to play anymore.
Danny Werfel, Gino Torretta, Eric Crouch.
Okay, all right, those 3 real quick. I think if they end up at different teams, we might still be talking about how good they are. I think they got screwed over by where they went.
Remember Peter Warwick?
I do.
Florida State. He's number 42 on the list.
I do remember that.
How about Tim Biaka-Batuka? Out of Michigan, number 41. Brady Quinn, number 40. We all knew he was going to be a bust. So
except for Mel Kiper Jr.
He's had some bad ones.
Yeah.
The old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, number 38.
Was a bust?
Yeah, he kind of was. 3rd overall pick in 1967, right after he won the Heisman. Of course, he did go to the expansion Buccaneers later in his career.
That. Really am.
The expansion Buccaneers.
Seeing as how they are
late in his career.
Part of our sister station.
They are. Let's see some notable. Todd Blackledge, part of that 83 quarterback draft.
I don't remember that guy.
Penn State, man, I do. How about Kenneth Sims out of Texas? You don't remember him. That was early 80s.
No.
What, David Carr?
I do remember him. He was going to save Houston.
Yeah. Joey Harrington. He was going to save Detroit.
Yep. And I still think I agree with Corey Majors on this. If he would have been Joe Harrington, he would have.
Oh, I get it.
But because he was Joey.
Yep.
Just
not a man. Not a man. Rashawn Salam out of Colorado at number 31. He was good in college.
He was. He wasn't good as a Bear.
No, not good at all as a Bear. Keith McCants out of Alabama. I've actually met this dude and interviewed him before. He's a good guy, but he's not very good in the pros.
Yeah, Keith McCouldn't.
Keith, I can't. How about Alex Smith at 29? I don't know if you'd call him a draft bust, right?
No.
I mean, he was a first overall pick.
He was the first overall pick. He wasn't used
He
real
wasn't a
well
bust.
in but he did fine.
No, he was not a bust. I disagree with that.
Eat that.
Badoo going to names we recognize. Archie Griffin, running back, Ohio State, only man to win 2 Heismans, and he won them both in a row. I don't think he did very much though in the pros.
He didn't have to.
No, he's got his. By the way, at the spring game for Ohio State, last Saturday, they commemorated him and his achievements, and they let him run a sweeper for a touchdown at the spring game. It was really cool. And I'm not a Buckeyes fan at all, but I'm a history dude, and I think that was really cool what they did there. How about, Colby, number 23, David Klingler from Houston.
Man.
He was going to save the Bengals.
He was going to save the Bengals.
That was post Boomer Esiason, too.
Yeah, they're going to finally have a quarterback. Man, it took them a while till, Carson Palmer to get another quarterback?
Yeah. He did not do very well. Rick Meyer out of Notre Dame. He was supposed to save the Seahawks.
Supposed to save the Seahawks. He did not.
Do you remember? So that was the 93 draft. I don't know how football conscientious you were at the age of 16? 93?
Close, yeah.
So do you remember the other quarterback that came out? So this was this year's equivalent of Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf.
Right.
Which one's going first? They're both surefire, NFL draft Hall of Famers, blah, blah, blah. Which one's going first? Do you remember who the other quarterback was?
It was Meyer, and it was
played for the Cowboys.
He played for the Cowboys?
Not out of college, but yeah, eventually.
Oh, crap.
That would be one Drew Bledsoe.
Oh.
It was Meyer, Bledsoe. Man, which one are you going to take? Because you had New England and Seattle drafting 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know. I do remember that because I was big into football cards, and I went Bledsoe hardcore.
Yeah, I think I did too because Rick Meyer didn't do doodly poop.
Like picking up the cards before the draft.
Right.
Like I went hardcore Bledsoe.
Yep.
So I got that one right. I might have gotten the Peyton Manning Ryan Leaf one wrong.
Yeah, me too, because I was totally Leaf all the way, and I'm a Manning guy, so imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
How about number 20, Matt Leinart?
Should have been good.
Who I despised in college because I hate USC. I didn't even care that he was drafted by the Cardinals, but I like him kind of a lot now, dude. So I follow him him and his wife on TikTok. They're kind of funny.
Well, he's
a great broadcast, great analyst.
He is, and he's one of those guys that, man, I think if he ended up with somebody else, it would have taken a Bill Belichick style system or something like that, but he could have been greatness.
Should have been better. Curtis Enos, number 19 out of Penn State. He was a Bear.
Yep. And he was also that string of do not draft a running back from Penn State.
Dude, and he was 5th overall in 98 too.
Yeah, because they were just manufacturing, kind of like Texas Tech with the quarterbacks. They were just any running back that showed up was going to look amazing because of the system they had rolling.
Number 18 on our list of the worst our worst NFL draft busts ever, Andre Ware. He was really good in college.
He was really good in college. And you imagine we all thought that it was going to be Andre Ware. And then, was Detroit, right?
Yep.
And you were just going to, it was just, you just weren't going to be able to not know where they were going. It was just everywhere, right?
And also a warning sign for other quarterbacks that do what he did, as he skipped his senior year to come into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee you he probably needed that extra year of college play to figure things out. He threw 5 total touchdowns in 4 years in the pros.
That doesn't seem like enough.
I mean, he threw more than that in single games at Houston.
Right.
I remember Ron Dane.
I do remember Ron
who
Dane.
set the collegiate single season record for like 1 year before Ricky Williams broke it the next year?
Yes. Couldn't believe where Ron Dane was going. He's just going to tear it up. And then him being a Giant.
Yeah, dude. I remember him being drafted by the Giants, thinking this was in '99. I remember thinking, oh, crap. But
we don't have to worry about it.
Didn't have to worry about it for very long. Number 15, Lawrence Phillips out of Nebraska.
You know what?
Stay hard, Lawrence Phillips.
He probably would have been better if he had, I don't know.
Not played football.
Wasn't crazy.
Speaking of crazy, another Penn State running back, Kajana Carter.
Yeah, this was during that
95.
That swing of do not draft a Penn State running back, and Cincinnati went and did that.
Yeah. Let's go start here at number 12 as we get into some obvious choices here. Out of Kentucky, quarterback Colby, quarterback Timm Couch. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't either.
Out of Kentucky, Colby,
because Kentucky is the place that I love their chicken.
Only when it's fried.
Yeah.
Not Kentucky grilled chicken.
Hey, their original's good too. Yeah, I mean,
is he the worst draft pick in Cleveland Browns history, and that's saying something?
He wasn't that bad though. He was just Clevelandized.
I guess it's hard to say, right? Like, because anybody that went to Cleveland,
it was
Tom Brady could have got drafted to Cleveland, and nobody would know who he is today.
Nobody would have known who or what or. Sorry.
It's trailed off there a little bit.
Yeah, no, sorry. There was some wrestling happening that
gotcha.
On the screen that my brain just froze and locked up on. I'm back though. How's it going? Yeah.
Welcome, Colby.
Mm-hmm. I think he got Clevelandized because he was all right there. It just
So if he was Clevelandized, the guy at number 11 got New York Jetsized. Another Penn State running back, Colby, Blair Thomas. Second overall pick in 1990.
Dude, he should have been, because his card was right there with, like, you could have either the Emmitt Smith or the Blair Thomas rookie card.
Right.
And yeah, of course I went Emmitt Smith because, Dallas Cowboys.
Because Cowboys, yeah.
But everybody's like, no, Blair Thomas is going to be amazing. Can't wait. Boy, nope.
Not with the Jets.
Not with anybody.
2,000 career yards and 5 touchdowns in 5 years. He was out of the league by 95.
Poor guy.
Colby, this one's close to home as it involves the New Orleans Saints. And at number 10, USC running back Reggie Bush.
Not a bust.
I don't think he was a bust either, especially not at number 10.
He was not a bust. It was weird because he really should have been used better than what he was. But when he finally got the football in areas of the field that Reggie Bush would succeed in, he would succeed.
Yeah.
So
he was not a traditional NFL running back. And back then, that's what everybody was still trying to use him as.
Right.
Like he would flourish today.
Yes.
As a pass catching running back and
as the sweeper. Just the guy that just beat everybody to the corner.
Yep.
No.
Number 9, and this guy might be number 1 on some people's lists. Achilles Smith, quarterback, Oregon. Poor Bengals.
Yeah. Achilles Smith, I remember when he was drafted and I was watching probably ESPN when it happened. And they said, and the Bengals select Achilles Smith. And my brain goes, who? And then I looked at everybody that was, because, the instantaneous information wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
And most of the people there also went, who?
They played in Oregon, and nobody cared about Oregon football in the 90s in the Pac-12 or Pac-10 back then.
You could tell there was about 12 guys in the back running around going, who the hell is this guy? It's the first round.
Achilles who? Yeah, and he was the third overall pick.
Yes, out of the blue.
Jeez.
I mean, they struggled. They had no film for him ready to go. Out of like the, first 2 rounds of film they had prepared, nobody had Achilles Smith anywhere near that.
I mean, who went ahead of him? I'm trying to think 99. Tim Couch 1, Donovan McNabb 2 to the Feagles.
Probably see who should have been picked there.
You think the Bengals regret because picked right after Achilles Smith, Edger and James, Ricky Williams, Torrey Holt, Champ Bailey, David Boston. All of these guys were Pro Bowlers, and 2 of them are Hall of Famers.
You know,
Wow.
it would have been better for everybody if Couch would have went to the Bengals, because
been better for Cleveland for sure.
I mean, well, if they would have got Achilles Smith, if you could have traded, I think Couch would have ended up succeeding. And of course, Achilles Smith was going to do what Achilles Smith was going to do anyway. So,
number 8, Colby, Steve Emtman, 1992 first overall pick.
You're not supposed to mess that one up.
Number 1.
You're not supposed to mess up number 1. Yeah, you've got the pick of the litter. Everybody that's there, you can pick, and you.
And I mean, he was what year was that? 92 with the first pick. So I think his career was more derailed by injuries, than maybe a lack of ability. Because man, it seems like he was hurt like the whole time. Trying to get back to the 92 draft because I'd like to see who was drafted right after him. Quentin. So the Colts had the first 2 picks in the draft that year.
Oh dear!
Can you imagine?
I can't.
And you got Steve Emtman out of Washington and Quentin Coriat out of A&M.
Oh dear! You didn't.
Wow. Desmond Howard went 4th, by the way, to the Redskins. Terrell Buckley went 5th to the Packers.
It really doesn't sound like, I mean, besides Desmond Howard, that you really missed out on a whole lot.
Troy Vincent.
Okay.
Touchdown, Tommy Vardell.
Hey, it's Tommy. He gets the touchdowns. That's what Tommy does.
And of course, that was the Klingler year, too. Went 6 to the Bengals.
Well, you got the first 2 picks, but in probably one of the crappiest, at least first rounds that I've ever heard of.
By the way, the Cowboys picked 17th that year and got Kevin Smith out of A&M.
Not bad.
He served us pretty well.
Not bad.
Through some Super Bowl years. Number 7, quarterback, Ohio State, Art Schlichter. I remember him. He was really bad. And don't say his name in front of Ohio State fans, I've learned.
Okay.
Like they did not like him. Number 6, wide receiver out of Michigan State, Charles Rogers. That'd be another Detroit.
That'd be Detroit. Yep.
I mean, he was out. I think he was out of the league like before the first year, right? Didn't he have like drug issues or something? Or
yeah, I believe so.
And that was all. Who was their GM? Randy.
I thought it was something. It was the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, the like analyst.
Yes, but
Matt Millen.
Matt Millen.
Matt Millen. I was thinking Randy Cross. It was Matt Millen.
Yeah, I was thinking Matt, but my brain was handing me more, and I was like, that's not it.
How about the great Heath Schuler at number 5, quarterback out of Tennessee? Remember, he went to the Redskins.
I do remember he went to the Redskins, and I also remember him just not being good. Like, he just had the ball and just wanted to keep it.
He was benched by Gus Frerotte. Shows you where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
The same guy who gave himself a concussion celebrating a touchdown when he headbutted the wall.
Right.
Remember that?
Well, you're not going to make it far if your name's Gus. I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead and go with the name change.
How about at number 4, Brian Bosworth, the Sooner great.
Yes, and well, it was, who was it? It was Bo Jackson that took out the Boss.
Yeah, ran right over him, right?
Yeah, and then he just went straight from there to go make the movie Stone Cold.
Oh, that's right. He was in Stone Cold, wasn't he?
Yeah, and actually,
I like him now in those Dr. Pepper commercials.
pretty kick ass.
Plays the sheriff.
Mm-hmm. The Boss.
He was given a 10-year, $11 million contract.
He was
by the Seahawks
because he was going to be amazing,
and he was out of the league in 3 years.
Well,
I think they had to pay him I mean, it's not guaranteed back then, right?
No, it's not guaranteed, but he made more money than probably what he was NFL worth.
And there was no cap yet.
Mm-mm.
Here is a name that's associated with our buddy Troy Aikman quite a bit.
Oh dear.
Just selected right after Troy Aikman in the 1999 NFL or 89 NFL draft. Tony Mandrich.
Poor guy.
Dude.
He tried, and then he didn't.
Because he had to try without steroids, right? In the pros.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out.
Just wasn't there.
By the way, remember the pick after him?
No.
Barry Sanders.
Oh, yes.
And then I want to say Deion Sanders went fourth.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm not looking at it, but it could be.
No, I think you're right. Because
Or Green Bay.
Yeah, I do remember, the Troy Aikman, yes, and then going, holy crap, look at this draft. And then also going, who's that guy? What's he doing here?
I wonder if Broadus was on that staff. I can't remember when he got to Green Bay.
You think maybe that's the reason why Broadus ended up being with the Cowboys?
We need to ask Broadus. We went to the Eagles too, I think. We didn't for a while.
Yeah.
And we all know the story of him trying to go to the Raiders. It didn't work out too well. But man, I'll have to ask him next time we see him if he was on the Mandrich trade.
Shoot him a text. Hey man.
You want to come on and talk about Tony Mandrich?
Please.
And then tell your Raider story, because it's an amazing story. Him and what's his name?
The Raiders.
What the hell's his name?
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank.
The Al Davis.
Al Davis. Thank you. I kept thinking Mark Davis.
Yeah, but that's the guy with the chili bowl.
That's the guy with the chili bowl that needs a Floby.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Colby. And I thought this was going to be number 1. I would swap 1 and 2 here. Jamarcus Russell
is number 2.
Number
Holy
2.
Crap. Yeah, Europe got his contract and then gained another Jamarcus Russell.
Jesus, he could have cut him in half and he'd still weigh more than he did out of college.
Yep.
Which, of course, leaves number 1, Ryan Leaf.
Poor guy.
Man, that dude had issues.
He had media issues. He had a lot of things that he still has in and out some issues.
Yeah.
He's
pretty good doing the analyst thing right now, I think, for college, right?
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he's doing some analyst. It's either NFL Network or I think it's like the CBS College Game Day or something.
So he's
like studio work.
Yeah, okay, cool. You know what?
He's good.
I'm cheering for him.
Yeah.
As long as he's not in somebody's random medicine cabinet, we're good.
No, he's doing pretty well.
I'm happy to hear that situation.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was always pulling for him, and a guy that's kind of been through that stuff, and that's, you can kind of say not really his fault, getting on painkillers and on things that.
No, they give you those things to get you out there to play, and then all of a sudden now it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
You still need it.
Still need them.
So yes, cheering for him as well. I always enjoy his work. And he's pretty open about his battles and his demons and things like that, which you have to be, right? When you go through stuff like that,
you really do.
Got to be able to talk about it for sure. So there is your list.
By the way,
list of this.
Might have to save that as alternate material for Thursday night as we
draft busts.
I've
got it saved now. It ain't going anywhere.
All right, good.
Actually, let me do that right now. Colby, do you want to talk some, man, we're short on time before we get to news and notes. So we can spin the wheel.
Okay.
The topic wheel. Disney World moving to Texas, XFL playoffs, or Stars playoffs?
You know what? I want to talk Disney World moving to Texas, but just real quick, a little Stars playoff talk.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of anxiety going on in the Sapp household, and I'm sure at the Hamm household as the game was winding down, and I thought for sure they beat our goalie.
Man.
And Ottinger made a save that I didn't think was possible. Like, watching it happen, I was like, no, it's going in the net, crap. And then it didn't.
Right.
And to have this thing, because I was of the mindset if somehow the Wild got that biscuit in the basket, we were going to go to overtime, we were going to lose. and it didn't happen. And it's because your goalie did something. The series is now tied up, and you got your home ice back, and you just win it on your place, and you're good to go, and you move on. And whatever else happens, playoff hockey gets to the point where sometimes I just got to turn it off and then you listen to the radio or just put up the score.
Yeah.
Like
just
on my
monitor
phone.
it.
Yeah. Okay. What's happening? I can't watch it, but what's happening? I can watch like playoff hockey that doesn't involve the Stars, but it starts to involve the Stars and it gets down there to the moment. It's like, all right, this is too much. It's too much,
dude. It's, I've posted things on Facebook and Twitter and stuff as I'm watching the playoff games, how great playoff hockey is. It is by far my favorite form of playoff sports of any of the 4 major sports.
Right.
Maybe even including women's volleyball.
I'll have to get into that.
But dude, it is so nerve-wracking, especially overtime. And I always think back in the 90s and the early aughts when the Stars were, making deep playoff runs every year. How in the world did I manage to make it through all of those overtime game 7s against the Avalanche, the Red Wings, the Sharks, the Ducks? Because there is no more nerve-wracking sporting occurrence than a game 7 overtime.
Oh my God.
In hockey, in playoff hockey.
There's really not, because it could be over at any point and it could never be over.
Like what was it? Game 1 against the Ducks, against the Wild.
Right.
Went into double overtime.
You're just sitting there just like, and the whole time your stomach gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. At some point it's got to give up. And like the overtime, I remember for the Cup, watching that at whatever ungodly time it was in the morning when that thing finally was over with. Holy crap. I'm standing the whole time.
Right.
And that's what it does. That's what it does. You're standing the whole effing time, just going, just not be in that basket. Be in the other basket. Be in the other net. Go. No. Yes. No.
Boobs.
Yeah, it's pretty much
literally every shot on goal, though, you hold your breath.
Yes.
Like on either side, especially the stupid shots from the point by one of the defensemen where he's just throwing it at the net, because more times than not in overtime, those find a way in.
Right. Yeah. And you're sitting there, like I just described, you're holding your breath, or you just described, and then that's how everybody got sleep apnea.
Right. It's hockey's fault.
Mm-hmm. Blame it on playoff hockey.
And then heaven forbid your team goes a man down in game 7 overtime.
Oh God.
And you got to kill off a 2-minute penalty. Those are that's the kind of thing that makes your butt pucker. Makes my eyes water.
Because your butt
makes
so
my
hard.
butt water and my eyes pucker.
That's right.
But dude, it's there's no more exciting thing in sports than overtime hockey.
So yeah,
playoff hockey.
You never want your butt watering. That's bad.
No, because you probably ate something wrong. It's watering.
So
the puckering's okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had a butt pucker.
So Disney's moving to where?
So Colby, on Monday, and I don't know if you're aware, there's an ongoing feud now between the state of Florida and the Disney company.
Oh.
As Disney is trying to expand its park. So Disney World. They're trying to expand and put a 5th theme park in their little family of parks over there. I don't know what they're all called. You got the Magic Kingdom, you got Epcot. I think you've got Animal Kingdom something, and a 4th one. I don't know what they all are. They're trying to introduce a 5th one. And the state of Florida says, no Jose way.
Okay.
Governor Ron DeSantis has announced plans to introduce legislation that will crush Disney's plans to build a 5th theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort. So there's been this ongoing battle between Florida and the Disney company, as I mentioned, because I guess there was a previous agreement between the state of Florida and Disney where they could pretty much just do whatever the hell they want.
Right, because it's Disney.
And this goes way back to like when they built the park, because there was nothing there. Orlando had like 8 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
And then sure, Disney, you're going to come in, spend all this money and bring people here and resort money and crap like that. Bring it at it. Yeah, y'all can do whatever you want for the next 80 years. Well, now Governor DeSantis is trying to put a stop to that. And he's going to renege on the agreement that they had. So because of this, Disney's like, I'm just going to take my ball. I'll go play somewhere else.
Right, which they can because it's Disney.
They can do whatever they do. They have all of them. They own like half the planet, right?
Pretty much.
So on Wednesday of last week, North Carolina State Senator Michael Garrett filed a bill called Mickey's Freedom Restoration Act, seeking $750,000 for the creation of a committee to determine how to attract the Walt Disney Company and its Central Florida theme park resort to the state of North Carolina. So Disney's not just talking about taking this one park that they're trying to build to add to Disney World and moving it. They're talking about moving Disney World.
What?
All of it.
Holy crap.
Screw you, Florida.
We're out.
I'm out of here, eh? I don't know if Walt Disney was Canadian. Probably not.
No.
Or if he's still alive.
Probably not. His head is.
His head's frozen somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this, dude, now you got states coming out of the woodwork. Hey, we want you. We want you. Virginia's involved. Of course, Texas is involved. And Texas is the odds-on favorite.
Ooh.
To get to steal Disney World from Florida.
They're just going to pick it all up. And it's just going to move like a giant floating island. And she's going to land.
I mean, how crazy is that?
They're just rebuilding, Magic Mountain and stuff.
I mean, it's stupid, right?
I would love to have them move that and also move a lot of their like filming studios here. Cause
right.
Good God, you think I have like insides now? Move it here. Yeah. I can go there in person and just, that'd be amazing.
And there's an interesting twist to this because apparently the FBI is involved.
What?
Because
it has to do with Florida. I can understand.
Right. They're just going to monitor everything, right?
Yes.
Because last year in 2022, a man made millions of dollars off a similar proposition before it was an actual proposition. So a guy named Thomas Lucas Jr. fooled investors and what the FBI calls very intelligent people. And was such an effective liar, he was able to convince hundreds of investors, even members of his own family, that he had inside information about a Disney resort to be built in Texas and sold off pieces of property that he did not own.
What?
This goes back to 2006, not last year. It says for 4 years beginning in 2006, Lucas scammed and defrauded more than 250 investors, claiming he had inside information about the Disney plans to build a brand new resort like Disney World in a rural area 50 miles north of Dallas. So now we're talking almost where I live.
They're going to come buy your stuff up, man.
He offered potential investors a chance to strike it rich before they moved here, and giving them purchase options to buy land near where the new resort would soon be located. The 65 investors who purchased options lost every cent, more than $8 million. Some investors, including Lucas's father and uncle, purchased land, believing the Disney story.
So wait, now if they end up moving there,
right?
He was right. He just took them a while.
Oops.
If you would have kept the property, you wouldn't have lost. You would have probably got some money.
Yeah. The only problem is the new assumed site would be closer down to South Texas.
Okay.
Maybe down in the hill country a little bit.
Well,
still closer than Orlando to us.
Right. Be dumb to move it there, though.
It would be dumb to move it at all, I think. But I mean, like you said, Disney can do whatever Disney wants to do, right?
Yeah, and if you put a roadblock up, well, they got the money to just go around it.
They'll just buy the road.
Yep.
Buy off the sheriff.
Dude, I'm excited about that. I doubt it's happening, but I am excited that that's a possibility, mainly because of, well, if they are able to pull this MCU out of the ground as it's kind of in right now, that would be awesome. and move it here and be able to have a little bit more access. But we know that Star Wars is in good hands as it's moving along. So that'll at least still be cooking.
So you mentioned like studios and stuff like that. Is that all in Orlando for them, or do they have studios out in Hollywood like everybody else?
They have a lot of their stuff is located within the Disney ranks, which is in a lot of places, but there's quite a bit of it that's kind of local in that whole Disney World area.
Right.
So there's some of their production stuff is right there.
Right.
They do some things. Maybe not like on the resort or what have you, but it's close because, they've already got all that land out there and they need something to build. They can build whatever they want.
Gotcha. Colby, you want to hear real quick before news and notes on the XFL playoff picture?
I do.
Because, buddy, the Renegades are in.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know how, because they're 4-6.
Right.
And they lost their final 2 games of the season to two of the 2 best teams in the league, DC and Houston.
Right.
Including Houston 25-9 last week, or this past weekend. And that's who they're going to match up with again, Houston, in the first round. Well, yeah, I guess they call them the semifinals because there's just one round before the finals, before the championship game. So we are looking at, by the way, St. Louis being bounced, who's been one of the best teams in the league all year.
How did
They got
that happen?
bounced. Well, because it's the top 2 teams from each division.
Ooh.
It's just 2 divisions.
Right.
And I think they lost a tiebreaker. So Seattle had to lose Sunday night for St. Louis to get in.
Mm.
And they were playing the 2-8 or 2-7 Vegas Vipers. By the way, those Vegas Vipers probably will not be the Vegas Vipers next year.
Move them to Dallas.
Probably going. We already have a team. If the Fort Worth Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Because of the stadium they play in a really old baseball stadium. The sight lines are terrible. It's horrible to watch on TV. It's just bad. And they're saying unless they can strike a deal to like play at Allegiant or whatever where the Raiders play, probably not going to be there next year. Which is weird because they were the Tampa Vipers back in the 2020 incarnation. I like to see them go back to Tampa. That was fun. So you've got, as I get down here, by the way, and it came to a tiebreaker, like I said, between the Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks, both at 7-3. Here's your tiebreakers for the XFL. Number 1, head-to-head.
Okay.
Number 2, best win-loss percentage in division games. Number 3, strength of victory in all games combined, record of opponents in wins. It's the most confusing sentence I've ever said. So basically, the more points you scored against division opponents is kind of where they're going. So, and I love the fact that they have that in there, because they were saying for the Sea Dragons on Sunday, they really needed to score at least like 25 points to win the tiebreaker, because it came down to the 4th or 5th tiebreaker.
Oh dear.
And so, yeah, just winning the game wasn't good enough. You got to go out and dude, it was like 9-3 at half. And they're like, yeah, we need to score points. We want to make it to the play. We don't want to just win. We need points. So I think they hit the 25, or no, they scored 28. Yet you needed 25. They scored 28 to win the tiebreaker. And then it goes down to best combined ranking among all teams and points scored, blah, 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 net points, best net touchdowns in all games. And after that, Colby, it comes to number 8, which is just a coin toss. If all other things are equal,
just flip it.
Why don't you just do that first?
But worry about the rest of everything.
Yeah. So you've got the Renegades at the Houston Roughnecks. That'll be Saturday at 6 p.m. on ESPN2 on the Dose.
Watch them end up actually winning that stupid game.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then the Sea Dragons at the Defenders. We get at least one more Beer Snake and Lemonhead game at Audi Field. They're playing Sunday at 2:00 Central Time on ESPN.
And the winner of those games end up in the XFL Championship, yeah?
The XFL Championship on May 13th on ABC.
I'll be in.
And you know what's funny is we're 2 weeks in now to the USFL.
Right.
Dude, I just can't.
You can't do it?
And there's a couple of reasons. Number one, there's no local team for me to be interested in.
Yeah, that's a major thing.
First and foremost. Number two, my biggest complaint about them last year was they don't play. I know they have city designations. They don't play in the cities.
Right.
They played every game at Birmingham Stadium, which I get. I know why they're doing it. It's a
money thing.
It's a money thing. So we all don't have to travel. But so this year, I thought they were going to start playing in home stadiums. They're not. There's 4 stadiums across the country that they're rotating. So these 2 teams will play in Detroit. Then they go to where the hell it is. I don't know where it is, but there's 4 and they're not league cities. They're still neutral site cities. And they're just rotating those, which again, I mean, I kind of get it. You're still trying to spread the game and the league and familiarity with people out of market. But I feel like you're abandoning the people in market if you're not playing your home games in the city that you represent. And it makes it harder for those people to identify with the team. They can't go see them play.
That's true. Of course, most of it they're just banking on the TV and also making it cheaper like that. You're guaranteeing that the league will stay there with this, style for a lot longer because you're renting out stadiums, but you now moved up. Instead of 1, you've moved up to now you can rent 4.
Yeah.
You're saving some of your money like that. So it'll probably still stick around. The XFL does have a little bit more of my eyeballs because of having a team, even though god awful uniforms that they got.
They're growing on me.
They're still not with me, man.
Yeah, they're growing on me.
Just can't.
Especially the road whites with the red trim. I think look really good. And all the teal color is on those is the helmets and then the numbers outlined in red. But
told you how I feel about that blue color.
I know. I get it. They're just growing on me a little bit. I might have to go buy some merch for next year.
So, but I'm down with it. USFL, I know what's going on. I've partaken in a little bit of it, but not enough to go, this is cool because there's not a home team. I'm like, all I've watched of the XFL is, is the Renegades playing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. So and I've pretty much said that with most all sports. Like if golf and NASCAR had like teams.
Yeah.
I know NASCAR has teams, but if NASCAR actually had like your Dallas burnouts, I'd be in.
Right.
Okay, we've got a team that could go win. Who's our driver? Then I would care. But just random people with random, and that's the Pennzoil guy. Well, good for him.
So when Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman co-owned a team, were you in on that?
No, because it was still just whatever team.
It's Hall of Fame racing. I think it only lasted like 2 or 3 seasons, 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I don't even remember who drove for him.
I wasn't because now again, if there was like, the Dallas NASCAR team, if they do this, then,
Yeah.
something that gives me a reason to root.
Gotcha. Well, very good.
Uh-huh.
Time for this.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you for making us sound good. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
And by God, I found it. So, by the way, this is brought to you by those people over at Turflife.club or Turflife.club.com.
There it is.
Go over there and get your hat, your mouse pad, your sticker, your whatever, and tell everybody you're a turf head. Just go over there and check them out. Let's go over to Oakland County. This is an Oakland County freeway. And man, must be the actual verbatim words of being stuck in traffic as a semi truck was cut off, veering into a metal barrier and flipped over onto its side. The semi truck was transporting glue.
Oh no.
And all of the glue pretty much spilled out into the road. So
it's like a road runner coyote type situation.
2 heavy tows were called out to the scene to stabilize the semi and keep it from flipping over the barrier into a steep ditch. All lanes of the highway were blocked, not only by this happening, because there was glue everywhere. Can you imagine the people in charge of cleaning that up? I don't want to be that person.
No.
You know what? As soon as I saw that come across the wire, I'd been like, sick. I'm sick. Sorry. I'm sick.
Mark.
Let's go from there to let's go for Australia, where Dan Sanders was or Saunders was on a Extremes, a Vice podcast, and he told a pretty interesting story. So he's a bartender, right? And one night he was, a little drunk, need a little money. He goes over to his ATM. He puts his card into the ATM and tries to pull some money out. And like it said, his amount, his, checking amount or whatever was unavailable. He's like, oh crap. Okay. So he moved some over, drunkenly kind of moved some over from his savings into his checking account. Didn't register. So he's like, crap. Okay. So he moved some from his credit over to his checking. No, over to his savings. And it didn't register. But he was able to pull out a couple $100. Okay. All right. Don't know how that happened, but cool. All right. So he leaves and he goes and he uses that $200. He wakes up the next morning and that $200 that he pulled out was still in his account.
Oh.
He's like, wait, but I pulled that out. And he realized that particular ATM from 1 to 3 a.m. was off.
Oh no.
It was on, but it's off.
Oh.
So everything that happens with that just doesn't show up.
It just gives you money.
If you transfer it from your savings over to somewhere else, it's a glitch, and it's just money from nowhere.
Oh, why can't we find one of those?
So he realized this when it was happening, and
oh, did he push his luck?
Oh, did he?
Oh no.
So every night from 1 to 3 a.m., he would go to this particular ATM. And at first he moved it like $1,000 over from his savings over to like his wife's account.
Right.
And then he's like, wait, what if I can charge my savings from my bar and then move that money over?
Oh no.
And he did. And he charged $1.5 million.
Colby.
And he moved it all over from his savings to pick up the tab.
Pretty sure they're going to notice that.
They didn't.
$1 million?
He went on a bender.
Oh my God.
He went on a 3-month bender of just buying whatever he wanted with this money because he had it. It was in he went to the bank the next morning after doing this, and it was actually legally in his account.
Wow.
So he now made that money back and repaid the bank after admitting what had happened.
Right.
And so kind of got himself out of legal troubles, even though he's in it for a little bit, because he stupidly admitted it. But he was scared that at some point somebody was going to notice the money was gone. So,
man, that's how ballsy is that to just go for the $1 million?
I guess if you're going for it, go for it.
I'd have tried like $5,000 or something after a couple of times just to
see.
And then if that works, dude, I probably would be scared to go back.
He was not.
Clearly.
He was not. He was like, overnight, I was a millionaire.
Gee, I'm going to go check every ATM on the way home.
I'm sure they fixed that glitch now.
Probably, you would think.
This is also Australian ATMs.
Good day, mate.
Everything there will kill you, especially at 1 to 3 a.m. So I guess they figured if you make it to an ATM at that time, then
we'll reward you.
Yeah. We'll go from there to San Antonio. Actually, Kyle, Texas.
Okay.
You hear what's happening in Kyle?
No.
So
are they changing it to Kylie?
No, they are not. They're putting out an all-out call for everybody in the world named Kyle.
one of these.
They're calling it the Gathering of Kyles. So it's scheduled Sunday, May 21st at the Lake Kyle Park.
Of course it is.
So if you're named Kyle, they would like for you to come. I don't know what they're going to be doing with that. So if your name is Kyle, spelled Kyle, the folks in Kyle, Texas want to hear from you. That's really, you have to have an official ID that shows you're indeed part of the Kyle Club. No first or last names or variations of Kyle, like Keel or Kylie, will be eligible. But they're wanting to break the world record for the largest same name gathering, as it belongs to Kapriski Koski in Bosnia. They had the Guinness World Records. They hosted the largest gathering of people named Ivan. About 2,300 Ivans showed up. So if you want to be a part of a Guinness World Record and your name is Kyle, Kyle, then go to Kyle, Texas on May 21st with your ID that says your name is Kyle, and you can be part of a Guinness World
Colby,
Record.
here's a couple of tidbits about Kyle, Texas.
Okay.
Familiar with the blues musician Gary Clark Jr.?
I am, actually.
He is born in Kyle.
Huh.
And the namesake of Kyle, Texas is the same guy who built and was named after Kyle Field. There you go. Now you know the rest of the story.
And the more you know. Let's go from there to, as we're going to train carriages, all right? And these are 1930s coaches that were used in the Severn Valley Railway and have, they've been in use now for all this time. It's kind of like, it's one of those things to where these things are being used. They're being used on these railways as, nostalgic, but also just for means of travel.
Sure.
Problem.
They're haunted.
No, they're going to be taken out of service.
Oh.
Not because they don't work. Not because they're not as good as they used to be. No, they're still good. Nothing's wrong with them. The reason why they're being taken out of service is because Gen Z can't figure out the doors.
Are you friggin' kidding me?
I am not. The doors don't have buttons. They actually have handles that you kind of got to, really twist and move and all that. I mean, look, they're from the 1930s, okay? And they haven't been modified because of nostalgia. Well, there's been instances of the doors not being fully closed. There's been instances where they've been wide open while the train's going down. There's been instances where people have tried exiting out the windows because they can't figure out the doors.
My God, I hate the world.
So I just wanted to point out there that reason why we're not keeping some of the old stuff is because people don't know how to use it because there's not a touchpad.
Oh my God. Swipe left, open the door.
Yes. So there you go on that. I did want to talk. Now, you know what? I'm not. Actually, yeah, we're going to go to Florida one time before I get to Nostradamus. All right. So the Florida police declined to make arrests in this particular instance. So police in South Florida say they will not charge a neighbor for shooting at a car being used by a grocery delivery worker. The reason why the person that shot at the car was because the grocery delivery worker was at the wrong address and pulled up into his driveway. This caused the guy to run out of his house and start firing bullets at the
Like, just automatically?
Yes. You're in my driveway.
How old is this dude?
So, hold on. Let me look up names and ages and see if we can. So they say each party was justified in their actions. All right. So officials in Davie, a town about 26 miles north of Miami, announced Friday that charges would not be recommended against the gunman, Antonio Cacavale, probably not his name, 43. Man, you try and read that. Because his actions were justified by his fear. The police report stated that Waldis Thomas Jr. and companion Diamond Haley Darville were attempting to make a grocery delivery on the evening of April 15th and were talking to the customer's wife on a cell phone for navigation help when the incident took place. So the Honda Civic stopped on this dude's property next door to the Target delivery home. The home of the Instacart customer, Daniel Orca, came out as his father behests to tell the pair that in the car to stay off the property. When they were like, we're on the phone, we don't know, he basically opens fire, which causes them to hit the gas and charge at him in defense, in which they struck a boulder in his foot. So they were going to be charged with it, but they can't be. And everybody's like, no, everybody's okay. Here's the thing. Don't randomly fire at people that just pull up in your driveway, especially if they look like they don't know where they're at.
You know what's funny is not funny. It's a sad testament to the world that we live in.
Right.
Oh, we have somebody from Twitch wants to know if we're live.
Yes, we are live.
Yes, Funky Bunch. This is live, sir, ma'am.
Where is Marky Mark?
But this is a sad testament to like the world in which we live, because you should feel free if you're driving the wrong way or something. You get to turn around in somebody's driveway.
You should feel
like
free.
To just turn around
or get shot at.
And you know what?
Florida.
There's sometimes when I've got to make that U-turn, sometimes I will purposely look for a house that might be empty because I'm a little like, I know the world and I know people are like, who's this a-hole in my driveway? Because you know what? I'm like that. If I see somebody pull up in my driveway, dude, I'm immediately out the window.
Okay.
Who the hell's in my driveway?
Right.
I'm not shooting at anybody.
Right. You're not going to go grab your your 9mm and see if their tires need any less air in them.
No. And you know what? I'll even go so far, if it's at night, I will turn my lights off, my headlights off, as I turn around in somebody's driveway.
Right.
Because I don't want to flash lights into their house if they're asleep, just to freak them out.
That's respectful.
Yeah. And
that's
just terrifying.
That's the opposite of how I think you act in public.
Well, sometimes I'm an okay guy.
So let's go from there to, have you spent any time with the, like the Chat GPT?
I've not. I'm avoiding it at all costs.
Okay. So it's the AI that's out there. And what they've done is some people have used this as to try and think like Nostradamus. And they've asked it to think like Nostradamus and make predictions. And it has made some predictions. And would you like to hear some of these?
Please.
It says in 2031, there'll be a cure for cancer.
Okay.
That's definitely not bad. It's definitely awesome. In 2050, there will be climate chaos that'll wreak havoc on the world.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Because I'm unfamiliar really with what this is. The whole Chat GPT AI thing. Where does it get its information?
It's an artificial intelligence.
But it has to base that information that it's telling you from like databases somewhere.
Well, yeah, basically it's using all the information and facts and stuff that it can find on the internet.
Okay, gotcha.
And it uses those to construct what it's thinking.
Okay, gotcha.
But its brain base is everything.
Okay.
So it just searches it and basically gives you an answer for pretty much everything.
Right, gotcha.
If there's an answer, it can do it, right? So it's answering them in haikus. It says in the year 2050, a storm shall, kind of like Nostradamus.
Right.
A storm shall brew as climate change wreaks havoc anew. Fires and floods and hurricanes shall arise. Nature's furies unleashed, a daunting surprise. Man shall scramble to find a way to mend the earth before it's led astray, but greed and apathy shall take their toll. A stark reminder of humanity's role.
Wow. That's heavy.
That leads into 2060. It says there will be an AI. The AI says in 2060 there will be an AI revolution.
Oh my God, it's happening.
So
it's predicting itself.
Yes, in 2060 AI shall thrive, a revolution that will come alive. Robots and machines with intelligence profound shall shape industries the world around, but fear and anxiety shall also loom. As jobs are lost, the future's gloom. Man must adapt and learn anew to coexist with technology and its breakthrough.
Colby, I'll be 89 years old.
Yeah, we'll be fighting the Terminators.
Skynet.
Yes.
It's called Google.
It's really just called Google.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or it could be called Chat GPT. Congratulations.
Gosh.
That's how we all get taken off the earth, because in 2074 we'll have our first colony on Mars because we're trying to escape the artificial intelligence.
Won't they just follow us?
Unless we don't take them.
We got to take computers.
Yeah, but we disconnect it from the internet so we can use.
We're going to make our own Martian internet.
Yeah, we're going to make the Martian internet.
It's going to start with dial-up again. We're going to go all.
Yeah, we're going to be on Mars going.
We're going to have a bunch of Commodore VIC-20s and Commodore 64s and TRS-80s on Mars.
Right. That one kid in the back with his Atari 2600 just playing Pong going, man, life used to be better.
Life was better in the 2040s.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, my God. And, everybody's seen every horror and sci-fi movie. We're heading that direction in some way, shape, or form. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Ryan Gosling is our savior.
That's right. The Gray Man.
He's going to sing his way to success.
Again, watch The Gray Man. You'll get it. He's not.
All right.
He doesn't have to be that. And that's news and notes, everybody.
Guess I'm going to have to go home and watch The Gray Man.
It's worth it. It really is. Billy Bob Thornton's in it, and you'll like him.
I thought he was dead.
He's not dead. He's just still walking around with his vial of blood that he got from Angelina Jolie.
They're not together anymore, right?
No, but I'm sure. I mean, if you I would keep her blood just in case I needed to make a clone later.
Yeah,
right?
I'd keep it in the closet, though.
Young Angelina Jolie's stupid hot.
She was okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that.
I mean,
I'm okay with Gone in 60 Seconds, Angelina Jolie.
Oh, yeah, the blonde with the dreads?
The dreads.
Oh,
my God,
man.
so dirty.
Yeah. I can't believe I
Dude.
just, after you said dirty, I was just like, yeah.
Well, it is dirty.
I mean,
Men take it better.
what?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Men know how to take it. Don't
What?
touch it.
Better.
Better than women
Why am I arguing with myself?
Actually, yes.
when you're taking it.
What?
When he's giving it to him.
Damn it.
No.
The old.
Why would you start down one path, get me to agree, and then quickly change and U-turn and go down?
You agreed pretty quick.
down to the dark path.
You did. Is that what
Shut-
you call it?
I mean,
Downstairs in the
what-
dark path?
yeah. I mean, it's the wrong door.
Are we going mudding, Colby?
No, we're not. Shut up, Colby.
Mark.
You stay away from my butt,
Go
sir.
It's still going. That's my favorite ever right there. My most favorite 25 seconds or whatever it is on our show was that night as we almost went mudding.
No, there was nowhere near. Nowhere near. So that was news and notes. This has also been the
Oh
Colby
my
Sapp
gosh.
and IndyCarTim show. We appreciate you guys that stopped by. Come check us out every Monday night and every Wednesday night. We'll also be Thursday covering the NFL draft. You can catch us here and also on Mike Fisher's YouTube channel. But as always, because I'm going to do this as always, I do need to let you guys know, if you have a dream, go chase it, because every moment that you spend not chasing your dream is a moment that you're not actually doing anything worthwhile in your life. Congratulations. Get after what you want, and you'll soon get it. That's really all you got to do. Until then, until we see you the next time, stay safe and, be you, man, whatever it is.